Hello, my name is Kyle Bradshaw. Welcome to this motorcycle grip buying guide from Cruiser Customizing. When it comes to motorcycle grips, there are literally thousands of grips out there, probably for your application. Now, there's lots of different things to look at or take into consideration before you choose the perfect grip for your motorcycle. Now, here on the motorcycle in front of us, this is a Honda Aero, and the grips that are on this bike are ISO grips from Kuryakin. Legitimately, the ISO grip is probably the most popular aftermarket accessory grip out there. If you walk through any rally, Sturgis, Daytona, Myrtle Beach, it doesn't matter. Any rally you walk through, you are going to see so many Kuryakin ISO grips, you will be absolutely astounded. The term ISO means isolation, isolating your hands from the vibrations of your motorcycle that translate up through the bar and end up making your hands numb at the end of the bar. Now, just because the ISO grip is the most popular grip on the market, or at least it was, it's not the only grip on the market. There are legitimately, like I said, thousands of grips to choose from, and how do you choose the best one? But the reason the ISO grip is one of the most popular out there is the fact that this was one of the first grips that featured isolation technology. Today we've got several different manufacturers: Avon, Arlen-Ness, Barron's, Showchrome Accessories. They are absolutely endless when it comes to manufacturers who are producing great isolating hand grips for your handlebars. Now, how do these vary? If you look at the grips from Kuryakin, they have these really puffy pads, and these pads are extremely vibration resistant. When you go to the Showchrome Accessories version, you're going to have rubber strips. Now, the grip itself is going to be different. On the Showchrome Accessories model, the grip actually bows in the center. So if you notice when you cup your hand, you've got kind of a dip here in the palm of your hand. Well, those grips are meant for your hand to sit perfectly ergonomically on top of the grip and not fall asleep. The Arlen-Ness version of an isolation dampening grip are going to be very similar to, say, the Kuryakin, but the difference is going to be those strips run vertically and not in the pad type style of the Kuryakin grip. Now, why have they done this? Purely aesthetics. You're going to get very similar isolation vibration dampening from all of the grips that we just talked about. Now, how do you choose the right grip for your bike? Now, there's two different options. The first option is going to be a universal grip, and what that means is use some WD-40 and slide your old grip off your stock throttle sleeve, or you're going to simply slice and peel off your stock grip. You're then going to slide the new grip onto your existing OEM throttle sleeve. Now, this works for everything except for throttle by wire. If you've got throttle by wire, that process is a little bit different. If you're looking for a complete grip replacement, let's say your bike fell over and the grip hit a wall or the floor or something of that nature, and you actually cracked your throttle sleeve, so your throttle is now broken. You can purchase replacement grips with throttle sleeves. Now, the installation of those grips is a little bit more time consuming. You're going to have to loosen your switch box housing. You're going to have to loosen, usually on the Harley-Davidson models, the bolt that holds the clutch lever in place in order to separate the housing enough to be able to slide the grip out and undo your throttle cables. Now, when you talk about throttle cables, people get scared. It's really not that difficult. You've got two cables here, and they're done by a spring down at your carburetor or your throttle body housing. Once you loosen the switch box housing enough, you'll be able to slide the grip out just a little bit. Now, you might have to undo some of the clamps that hold the throttle cables to the bar or to the triple tree to get enough space to be able to either slide your grip off the bar so you can release the throttle cables, or you might have to go down to the throttle body or the carburetor and loosen the adjusting nuts there just a little bit so you can get those cables off of the grip. Once the cables are off the grip, the new grip comes up and the cables installed exactly the reverse of how you remove them. It's really not that scary. So if you're fearful of taking your switch box housings apart, removing your grips, we've got lots and lots of videos on YouTube. We've got the Kuryakin 6240, which is going to cover all of the Hondas, Yamahas, and some of the Suzukis, and the 6235, which is going to cover almost every Yamaha. Take a look at those two installation videos on youtube.com/cruisercustomizing to see exactly how those grips are installed. Now, the Avon grip is a unique beast when it comes to the metric cruiser market. What they've done there is they've provided one grip that fits almost all of the metric cruisers. When you open up the grip package, you're going to notice there's going to be the clutch side grip, which will be either for a 7/8 or a 1-inch bar. And then on the other side, the throttle side, you're going to have a grip that's going to have ribs on the end, and then there's going to be two different cogs, an A cog and a B cog, that will slip onto the end of the Avon grip. The size, diameter, position of the throttle cables is different for Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and that particular cog will allow you to get the proper fitting cog, the proper fitting throttle attachment for your particular make model application. How do you know when you need a new set of hand grips? Well, if you're running with the OEM factory grips, chances are you need a new set. Now, grips are one thing that I waited more than a year to change on my VTX. Actually, it's probably 2 or 3 years. I figured I've got the stock grips, I've never had a problem with them before. I actually didn't know what I was missing. After a period of time, Uwe was like, dude, you need to swap those grips out. They can't be comfortable. And I really didn't know what he was talking about. So I swapped out to the Kuryakin Grip, the grip that we say is one of the most prominent or popular grips on the market. Once I'd installed those grips and ridden with them, I understood what Uwe was talking about. All fatigue in my hands from riding down the road, absolutely relieved. The ISO grip from Kuryakin is larger than a stock grip in diameter, which means instead of your hands being gripped completely around the grip, you're now more relaxed. It's more of a natural position on the bar. Grips and motorcycle seats are two things that people usually leave on their bike the longest, but will actually provide the greatest benefit for them if they swap them out as soon as possible. Another thing I'd like to touch on real quick is the grip material. A rubber grip out in the hot sun is going to be much, much cooler than, say, that of one that is all chrome. If you're not wearing gloves, you better park your bike in the shade or you will burn the palms off your hands if using a straight chrome grip in the middle of the summer sun. Keep in mind that when swapping out your hand grips, you might run into issues with your existing cruise control module. If you have, say, a breakaway cruise control, there are several grips on the market that will not work with a breakaway if you have it installed on your current stock set of grips. So take a look at the new grip and what cruise controls work best with it, and you might want to make that swap at the same time. Thank you for watching this cruiser customizing grip buying guide. Until next week, take care and ride safe.